Well, I think we have finally arrived at the moment we've all been waiting for. I guess not all of us, but majority of us. The rate hike, the high rate, the party is over, done, finito, whatever. It's over. It's done. We're done. Jerome Powell, you just need to come out and you need to say that you landed the plane and you're done. And now you're gonna start what? Thinking about cutting rates before you break the system and screw it up again. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We are officially, I don't think last week, we are in December. We are cruising to the end of the year, coming up to 2024. What a crazy year. I mean, the rates started off in the 5s, then went to the 7s, then it came a little back down, then went to the 8s. They didn't need to go to the 8s. They didn't need to go there, but because the Federal Reserve, they just love to talk and hear themselves talk. But what they don't understand is majority of what they tell us, majority of what they think's gonna happen, it never happens. Like, we're gonna look back in 2-3 years and all the shit they said was wrong. They're just wrong. I mean, I hate to knock on the guys, but it's not like they're doing a terrible job, but they say a lot of things that aren't wrong. And that causes, disruption, insecurity, rates going high, hurting people, hurting businesses, hurting, industries. It's just ridiculous. But this is, when people are controlling the money, I don't think it's good. I mean, this is just too much. So here we are. What is the date today? I don't even know. December 4th, 2023, as I shoot this, and this will come out Wednesday, the 6th. This week's going to be interesting. We have a lot of stuff. The jobs market this Friday is going to be the big thing because that's really what we're worried about. That's what we're concerned about because that's what the Fed's concerned about. Their unemployment was supposed to be 3.8. Now it's 3.9. It might go to 4%. So before I get in to our normal brief, and you guys know it's first and second and third down the list, if you listen to me every week, right? I just want to say this. The Federal Reserve, the government, they're usually wrong, okay? So we're worried about right now, us people that study the data, that know what's going on, that are in the weeds, that are like looking at the stuff and talking to business owners and in the real estate market and watching all the stuff, right? Day in and day out watching this stuff. What I don't think people understand, the general public don't understand, is that the Feds get this wrong a lot, most of the time. And we keep listening to them, or you keep listening to them. And then a reporter goes on and goes, did you hear this? Did you hear that? It's reporting incorrect information. But then there's a lot of confusion out there to sellers, to buyers, to businesses, to the general public, to like around the world, everybody, right? And so when people don't understand what's going on, you create insecurities and fears and frustration, all stuff. And this really messes up things for a lot of people. So it was June of 2021, CPI hit over 5, and the Feds at that point should have started talking about, let's start slowly taking our foot off the gas. Let's start raising rates. Let's start the process. But they didn't do it then. They waited all the way until 2022. I don't remember what it is because I should have this information in my head. March, April, whatever it is, they started doing the rate hike, right? And then our rates went from 3 to 6 so fast. And we already lived through that. We know what happened. We know it didn't have to be that way. It didn't. But it was that way because the Feds I don't know what they're doing. We don't know what they're doing. So right now, this is a pivotal moment. I'm back at the same thing. It's like, look, inflation is down. The consumer spending I don't care about Christmas. The consumer is slowing down. Credit cards are maxed out. People are paying 20, 30% of the credit cards, right? People are sick and tired of going to the grocery store, going to the restaurants, all these things, and paying these ridiculous prices. It's ridiculous. This stuff should not. Well, Kenny, no, it doesn't. How is a burrito that costs $5 now $15? It's not. This is ridiculous. We're getting gouged, right? So here we are. We're going down, we're in the Feds, all their predictions, hey, we want to be here, we're missing it. Want to be here, we're missing it. So the data they're telling us what they want to be at, it's worse. But they're still going, we're going to hold strong. We're not going to land the plane. This is where we're going to look back in 6 months or a year. We're going to go, they got it right or they got it wrong. So a lot of very, very smart people are coming out right now and saying, hey, you need to stop. You need to smell the roses. You need to pay attention to what's going on. You need to think about starting to talk about cutting. You actually need to probably cut very soon, maybe just one cut. The reason why, guys, is do it slowly. Why wait until till inflation goes from 5 to 9 and then you got to do it? Why? And then you got to jam it and screw the system. This is why shit's so whacked. It's rates are up, rates are down. Prices are up, prices are down. This is the world we live in. We're not doing it. If Mr. Jerome Powell, you and your colleagues make these decisions, why are you waiting? What, a quarter point hike and a quarter point cut, you think it's going to change the world? It will, because it's showing that you are starting the process slowly. What if you just go slowly and not have to jam it? Guys, we don't want rates to go like this or go like this. It's not good. We just lived through this. It's so hard for people to buy or this or plan. It's just super disruptive. So it's very frustrating sitting back watching. And it's like, I mean, I'm pretty sure they're going to let it go too far and then they're going to have to freaking cut fast. If not, it's because they're going to keep getting hammered by everybody out there saying, make a decision now. Don't wait till it's at that critical point. That's what I wanted to say about that, but it's very important. So let's get into it. Enough about this and that. Anyways, did I mention welcome back to another episode of The Brief? It's another week. Let's go. Let's get into it. What are we going to talk about today? What is the first thing we always talk about? Inventory. Is inventory getting better or worse? Well, come on. Fall and winter, what happens to inventory? It drops, right? It doesn't matter. Rates up, rates down. It doesn't matter. We know how it goes. Fall and winter, we come down. Spring, summer, we go up. We know it's like a whoa, like we're dancing or something, right? I'm like this. Here we go. I got this one like this. Do you know that dance? It's like that, up and down. It's like a roller coaster. So we are on the downward. So what do we got nationally? Last week, we were at 56.5, 875. This week, we're at 55.17. We're going down. It's not helping. And remember, rates have already dropped a point, so we're going to get more buyers. We're already seeing the demand, guys. We are already seeing the demand pick up. What else we got going on here? Here, San Diego. Last week, we're at 3108. We're at 3,068, 325 new, 231 recent sales, 263 pending. Guys, we know it's going to happen. It's just going to go lower and lower. And as soon as we hit Christmas, it's like, nobody's moving or doing stuff. They are, but come on, at a minimal. The same thing with renters. You know, these renters, people are coming out here and they're going, wow, the market's changed. No, the market hasn't changed, guys. We lived through this thing called COVID, 2021, 22. You need to throw it out. You need to just throw that out because that wasn't reality. The rates, the home prices, the inventory, the rentals, all this, rent prices going up, that was not normal, guys. So what's normal is it is harder to rent your place out fall and winter. It is 50% less traffic. You do have to give concessions. You might have to drop your rents. It's not the same as spring and summer. It's the same thing. You guys are acting like something changed here. Nothing changed. This is just the reality of how things work. I'm bringing you back home to the basics. Let's go back to the basics. Quit comparing ourselves to this lockdown and come out effect. That is not normal, and we cannot go back to that. Rates are definitely staying low for sure right now. They're definitely staying lower. The 10-year treasury, I didn't really pay attention today, but Crystal said it tapped. It knocked on that 4.17 today. So what we're doing is we keep testing new lows. You know, we're going to end up around 4, who knows? But look, rates have come down a full point. Don't play games. If you're got in a property, you want to refi, just lock the rate. Quit dicking around or playing games with these rates because you're going to get burnt. I get it. Some of us are waiting to go down for a refi or this. I get it. But if you can lock now, that's great. But will they continue to go down? I just don't know. It depends on the data. It depends on what the feds come out. Are they going to spook the markets? But a lot of people now are over the head fake. They're over the, hey, I got a good hand and you have a crappy poker hand. So we understand what's going on. The market's not falling for it. And they know Powell, this hawkish stance, is becoming less and less tough and believable. That's what's really going on. Economic data for this week. We've got job openings, ADP, consumer credit, U.S. employment rate, hourly wages. There's a lot of stuff going on with employment. Friday is a big day unemployment, so we're going to watch that. I think expectation might be 4%, so raising a little bit. Remember the Feds, they have it at 3.8. We're already at 3.9. Again, they're already off. What are we waiting for to, lower rates? Powell is he done hiking? I'm sure he is. The thing is that he wanted to be, he said this, not me. He said this, that the core inflation PC should be in line with the Fed's fund rate. But it's not, ladies and gentlemen, it is not. Go look at PC and look at it's off. We're off. So he needs to like wake up, get some coffee, get that espresso, some Cuban coffee, get a little whatever, put a little juice in you. I don't care what you got to do. Get some push-ups, some pull-ups, wake up, smell the roses. It's time to go. Land the plane. Let's start talking about cutting rates before you put us in a big ditch ahead and we got to get out. There is a thing called deflation that if you keep this going too long, you will hit that. And what that does is things fall off a cliff. Things really slow down, and then you create a recession, and then you create a job loss recession. And so that's really going to be great, right? So we want to avoid that at all costs. The Fed's obviously getting hammered. People coming out there saying cut, cut, cut. He hears these things. He knows what's up. It's if he's going to make the decision. Buyers and sellers, they're picking up, meaning that transactions are moving. Buyers are sitting on the sidelines, are now moving forward. They want to do deals. People want to refi. Look, when you drop the rate, I said this last week, a full point, you're talking hundreds, thousands, $1,000, $800, $500 in payments. It's huge for somebody, so it makes sense. Still, there is going to be that refi opportunity coming. I think I gave a rate prediction. It would probably be by this time next year. I'm guessing Fannie, Freddie, conventional rates in the 5s, maybe FHA, VA, maybe in the high 4s, but I'm going out there on a limb. All right, so we got our new conforming loan amounts. We're at 766, 550. And then look, on a 2 to 4 unit, 5% down, now the max loan amount is going to be 1.474400. So that's cool. We got a little bump up. 2 units, 981, 500 and 1186, 350. And then there's also those high balances, which are much higher than those. But I wanted to share something which is interesting. I was like, let's go back. So 2024, we got 766, 500, right? Just in 2019, ready? You better be sitting down. Watch this. Our conforming loan amount was 484, 350. When I got in the business in 2004, it was 333, 700. And then in 2006, it went to 417. And are you ready? It stayed there for 10 years before it went up finally to 424 and climbing. But get this, in 1980, the conforming loan limit, do you want to guess? Just while you're watching, just throw a number out right now. Just pick a number. What do you think it was? Just like think of a number, throw it out there. Did you guess 93,750? That's what it was. Let's go to 1990. 1990, we moved up all the way to 187,450. 2,000, 252, 700, and so on. So pretty crazy how far we have come, how dramatic we have. And so those new loan limits are huge. Obviously, this loan limits, high balance limits, all that definitely get affected to where you live, different areas, all that. So you need to look that up. So remember, 5% down, 2 to 4 units. Now you can go to 1.474400. That's 5% down. It's Fannie Mae guidelines. There's no self-sufficiency test. That is huge for house hackers, first-time home buyers that want to get into the game, have other people pay your mortgage. This program is crazy. Excited for it. It's going to be really big for all these new buyers coming into the market. So Business Insider put out this article, Millennials have become their own worst enemy in the housing market. Many young Americans want to buy their first home. At the time supply is low, the housing demand from millennials has made it harder for generations to get into the game. To make matters worse, millennials have been hit hard financially, carrying a lot of debt. So one thing keeping home demand and prices up is that there are lots of millennials, millions of millennials trying to buy a house. The average millennial also saw their net worth double last 5 years from 54,000 to 115. So this article talks about millennials are in a danger of creating a housing bubble in the mid 2030s. That's so far out. Why are we talking about it? But anyways, millennials, you're definitely feeling it, right? It's funny, millennials came out of the crash 2008-9. They couldn't get jobs, all this stuff. And then now it's like they have a job, rent's gone up, food's gone up, car payment's gone up, housing's gone up, rates gone up. They're just getting hammered, right? They're getting hammered to live. So I wanted to say, if you're a first-time home buyer in millennial and you're hearing about this and you're struggling, what are some of the things that you can do to help this? Well, number one is, look, if you're getting ready to buy a house, go get out of your rental, go live with mom and dad, or go literally rent a room. Just the thing that you guys have to understand, first-time home buyers, sacrifice for a little bit for a long-term gain. Pay the price now so you can just get what you want later. To build our real estate portfolio, we just sacrifice. That's what you got to do. So number one, be willing to sacrifice. Go live with mom and dad, rent a room, get more roommates, whatever it is. Number two, you've got to set money aside. So when the check hits your account, you've got to allocate money to another account immediately to start saving for buying a home, right? The other thing is you're going to have to get realistic and cut expenses. I understand you want to go travel the world. You want to go out and eat. You want to go to the club. You want to go to the bar. You want to have this fancy clothes, all this crap. That is great. At the end of the day, I promise you this, Mr. and Mrs. Millennial, you're not going to care about all that stuff. So just live simple. Cut all the stuff. When you start doing it, you get used to it. Remember, when people go, hey, why aren't you going out? I'm like, dude, I'm trying to buy a house. I'm trying to invest money. I got to save money. If you don't have parents have the money, you got to do it. So sacrifice is huge. And then one of the last important things, there's so many things you do, is get your mindset right. So if you're entering 2024 and you want to buy this house, get your mindset right. If there's a goal, look at the goal every day. So remember, what do you got to do? I got to cut costs. I got to live frugal. I got to save money, right? I got to watch my credit. I got to watch my spending. And also, if I'm going to buy a house, I need to start acting more responsible and learn how to buy the house. If I want a house hack, I got to start doing that. So start looking at deals, start looking at houses, put one up on your wall, put one up on your phone, put one up on your computer. What do you want to manifest it? But get your mindset down the road that you're going to buy a home, but you have to make change in your life. Things are not going to change for you. If you're relying on the government to cut rates or give you money and all this, that is the worst thing to do. You can do this. You got to do it yourself. And so if you're watching, if you have son, daughter, whatever, if you've done this, it's hard for them. I get it. So if they can get help, get it. But if not, go pick up a side hustle too. We have clients that work a full-time job and they go drive Uber, and that's how they're able to save the money to buy a house. I'm like, you're so smart. They say, Kenny, screw the Netflix and all this. I'm young. Just go work. You have the energy. If you don't have a parent, if you don't have, kids, wife, a significant other, all that, you have no responsibility. Go work your butt off, save up money and get ahead. That's the name of the game. That's what I would recommend for you. All right, guys. So also this week, Ryan Serhant. I love Ryan, honestly. Biggest brand in real estate, great marketer, understands the market, talks to a lot of clients, talks to a lot of people, knows the data, really smart. So I wanted to hear what he had to say real quick about what he's seeing. And this is the thing a lot of people understand is I get to talk to all people all over the country. Realtors and loan officers and people, different investors. So it's really nice to get a perspective of what's going on around the market and if they're hearing the same thing. So I'm seeing an increase of mortgage applications in business. So let's see what Ryan Serhant has to say here in this quick little soundbite.
There's a lot of pent-up demand. You have to understand, in 2008, just over 4 million homes were sold around the United States. This year, I don't know if the United States will actually get to 4 million total homes sold. And then what has happened after every cycle? It corrects, it comes back. And so you're seeing that now both in the residential and the commercial markets. But it never
crashed in the first place, though.
You had a soft crash.
Really?
I think if you talk to anyone in the real estate business who's been in the market heavily for the last 18 months, they haven't had a great time. Rates rose higher than anyone has had in their career, right? Everyone sub $10 million sat on the sidelines. 90% of all loans in the United States are under 5%. So why would you?
When they sat on the sidelines, was it sellers who refused to budge? Was it buyers who couldn't come in?
Both. Sellers couldn't afford to sell because they had nowhere to go, because inventory is at historic lows. Affordability is at a 45-year low, right? Buyers then had nowhere to go because what they could afford a year and a half ago now got them half the space for double the monthly payment. That becomes a hard pill to swallow. So people just stayed, and then you stay and you stay, and then eventually you have to move. So that's what you're seeing now. You see mortgage applications now at a 5-week high.
Right.
So you see buyers saying, you know what? I can get a jumbo under 7%. That's better than 8%.
Can you really? You can get a jumbo under 7%?
For today, to just hold me to today. Yeah. I don't know what happens tomorrow.
Do you have your own network of banks and lenders that you appeal to? I only ask that because when your name is on a listing, and I just saw one in the Hamptons, the Tony area and all, but just seeing your name on it, because you're so well known, does that people gravitate to that, or is it your network of people you can make anything happen?
I think it's a mixture of both. I think there is brand value and legitimacy.
Well, there you go. So that's why I wanted to point out that there was a soft little housing is in a recession. You're hitting 4 million. It is. So housing is 100% recession. Commercial is in a depression. Hey guys, if you're at a business, it's down 50 or 70%. That's a recession or depression. That's actually a depression. So absolutely right. And mortgage jumbo rates are under 7. You could absolutely get. So that's Ryan Serhant update on the market. I mean, this is what's happening. He's seeing it. There's a huge pent-up demand on the sideline that is definitely going to cause issues, right? When the rates come, you're just going to see boom. And is there going to be enough supply to meet the demand? I just don't know. In my opinion, now's the best time if you're going to buy a deal. If you want to buy the best deal you can in 2024, this is the best time right now. Rates are still a little bit high. People don't want to buy right now. They're still a little scared, or affordability is tough. Why are you waiting? Because if you wait till this time next year, I'm telling you right now, rates will be lower, but it will definitely be more expensive to buy that, to obviously buy that property. So anyways, so I want to leave you guys. I thought I'd be like, hey, let's do a fun fact about real estate. Start adding this in here to the last hour of the show here. So I kind of found something that's fun. I was like, which one should I do? So I'm like, I'm just going to read out this one. I heard this before and I read this, but here's a fun fact. So Sears, some of you, have you ever heard of Sears? Maybe you guys you've heard of Sears. Maybe you guys never shopped at Sears. So Sears obviously used to be like the shit, let's just call it. Like back in the 80s and 90s, Sears was the place. So Sears used to sell mail order houses available by catalog ordered from 1908 to 1940. This is obviously way the hell before I was born. Because remember, Sears back in the day, when I told you the 80s, 90s was big, back in the back day before I was born, Sears was the place to be. That was it, right? And now they're like dead, but this is what happens to retail. So available by catalog ordered from 1908 to 1940, Sears modern homes took DIY to a whole new level. As many as 75,000 home kits were sold in hundreds of different styles. Some are still in existence today. Sears used to sell, and you could build your own home. I thought I'd leave you that fun real estate fact. Anyways, guys, I appreciate you sticking around watching, and this one's a little bit longer. Just kind of go through a lot of detail. There's a lot of stuff to recap. Look, it's a big week for data right now. It's also a big week because it's a big month, weeks coming up, because the Fed is eventually going to have to say we stop, and they are going to have to start talking about cutting. And if they wait too long, they're just going to have more damage. They're going to cut fast, and they're just going to put all of us in a bad situation. Rates going down real quick is not good. So that's not what we want. But also wrapping up, for new conforming loan amounts came out. That's really a plus for people buying. I mean, you literally now can get a loan amount with 5% down, which is crazy. We never thought we'd see these, but that is going on here in a place like California. And otherwise, first-time home buyers and stuff are still going to have a disadvantage because obviously higher rates, affordability. But look, you got Bank of Mom and Dad, you got co-signers, you got first-time home buyer programs, and you've got the ability, right? Options where you can go live back with mom and dad, get roommates, have a side hustle while you're young, take advantage, sacrifice. Remember, get your mind frame and your mindset in 24 that I want to buy. Focus on that, manifest it, and go after it and get it. But until next week, guys, appreciate you guys watching. Have a great week. But soon we will be in Christmas, which is insane, in just 2-3 weeks. But there's still lots to do this year, lots of data to get through. And honestly, between now and the year, there's still lots going to go out. My estimate is hopefully we'll see that 10-year start to tap and touch 4%. Wouldn't that be exciting? Thanks for watching. Please share, like this. Obviously, if I can help you, if you need a conversation, anything at all, just reach out to me. Would love to chat. Otherwise, have a great week.